Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to draft a basic skirt, a contour skirt. This is not your regular kind of skirt we divide by 4. This method is different. So watch to the end. So we are going to need some measurements here. In a skirt, we need the waist measurement, we need the hip measurement, we need the hip allocation. We also need the skirt length, that is the full skirt length. In a skirt, the butt, that is the back side, is bigger than the front side. So because of that, we are not going to be dividing our hip measurement by 4. So our waist now, my waist is 30 divide by 2. We are going to be dividing by 2 because we'll be drafting the back and front block differently. Okay, by 2, divide by 2, I have for 15 inches plus 0.5. This 0.5 is because the front waist is bigger than the back waist, so we are adding our 0.5, and when we get to the back, we'll be removing this 0.5. okay, so now plus 0.5, guys, we have 15.5. We have 15.5. So this 15.5, we'll divide it by 2 because our front piece is folded into 2. So 15 divided by 2, we have 7.75. We have 7.75. So we'll be taking our drafting one after the other, so you won't get confused. So we just did the waist measurement there, the waist calculation. So I'm going to remove some, I'm going to remove some inches from here. Let's say 3 inches. You take it straight down. So we start drafting our front block from this line. Start drafting it. So in our front block, after our calculation, we have 7.75 for the waist. This is my 7.75. Then from my waist to my hip, that is the hip allocation. If you are adding band to your skirt, you remove maybe 1 or 1.5 inches for your band. So for this drafting, let's use 1 inch for our band. So minus 1 inch from the skirt length. So our hip allocation, I have hip allocation of 9 inches. So hip allocation, you measure from your waist to the fullest part of your hip. For mine, I have 9 inches. You can see where I started. You can see where I placed my tape. I removed my 1 inch for my band. Then this is my 9 inch. So on this part is where we are going to take our hip measurement. Okay, now we move to the hip. So for the hip here, my hip is 40 inches. I told you that the back side is bigger than the front side. That is, the back has the butt, right? It's bigger than the front side. When you divide them equally, you notice that at the end of it, you have a jump up skirt at the back. So here is 40 inches divided by 2. We are dividing by 2 because we are cutting the back and front piece separately. Divide by 2, I have 20 inches. So this 20 inches, I'm going to take away, you are going to minus 1 or 1.5. Okay, you are going to take away 1 or 1.5 for the front. So determine the inch you are going to take away from your front. If your waist measurement has a difference between 6 to 10 inches, you can use 1.5. okay, but if it has below 6 inches, if the difference from your waist to your hip has a difference between 6 and below, okay, you use 1 inch. Below 6 inches, you use 1 inch. Above 6 inches, the difference, you use 1.5. So we are going to minus 1.5. You take away 1.5 from the front block. So when you take away 1.5, we have a total of 18.5. So 18.5 divided by 2, we have 9.25. So this is our hip measurement, 9.25. So on this hip measurement, you place your 9.25. This is 9.25. Then our full skirt length is 25 inches. Depend on where you want your skirt to be. It can be exactly at your knee length, or maybe 1 or 2 inches above the knee or below the knee. So to take our full skirt length, remember I'll remove my 1 inch for my band, then I'll take my 25 inches. Yeah, this is my 25 inches. Then make a straight line. To narrow down your skirt, because this is a pencil skirt, you are going to take away 6 inches from the hip. You are going to take away 6 inches from the hip. This is a perfect fit, 6 inches, but some people can go as low as taking away 4 inches or 5 inches. Okay, then you divide it by 4. Let's use 4 inches. 4 inches, that is 40. Take away 4 inches, I have 36 inches. Divide by 4, and we have what? 9 inches. Or when you use 40, take away 6, and you divide it by 4, you have what? 8.75. If I'm not mistaken, you have 8.75. That is the standard. But when you don't want it to be too narrow, you can use 4 or 5 inches. So we have here 8.75. This is 8.75. So we are going to connect our lines. At this point, if you have a French curve, if you have a curved ruler, you can make use of it at this point. So from my waist to my hip, from the waist to the hip, and the hip to my skirt length. So here is what we have. And for the front piece, note that, please, the front part is flat. Okay, for the front piece, note that, don't dart your skirt at the front. But we are going to remove 1 inch from the front waistline. 1 inch, because the front waist line is not straight. But if you are making use of a high waist, there's no need to remove your 1 inch. Okay, then you connect to the waistline. Here is what we have for the front. This is our front piece. So moving to the back. For the back, we are still going to make use of this front block for the back. And our measurements, we'll be starting our measurement from here. We'll start taking our measurement from this line here, this curve line, so that your curve by the side will be accurate with the front. Okay. So the first thing to do is our waist. Remember, for the front waist, we added 0.5 inch for the front waist, but for the back waist, we'll be taking away that 0.5 inch because our back waist is smaller than the front waist. So my waist is 30. This is my waist is 30. Divide by 2. I have 15. I have 15 minus 0.5. That is what? 14.5. So my back waist is 14.5. Then I'm going to be dividing it by 2 because our fabric will be folded into 2 while cutting. So if I divide 14.5 by 2, I have 7.25. Please follow this tutorial gradually, you'll get it right. So my back waist is 7.25. So my 7.25, I'll start taking it from here. And this is 7.25. This is my 7.25. So for the hip here, we took away 1.5 for the front hip, but for the back hip, we are going to be adding 1.5. So my waist, my hip is 40 inches. This is 40 inches divided by 2, and I have what? 20 inches plus 1.5. Please, anything you remove from the front hip, make sure you add exactly that inch from to the back inch, to the back side, okay? So we have 20 plus 1.25. This is equals to 21.5. So when we divide this by 2, 21.5, we divide it by 2, we have 10.75. So that is what we are going to be taking for our back hip, 10.75. From here to here, this is 10.75. This is my 10.75. So for the full length, for the skirt length, it is still the same as this one. So it is still here, just the same, nothing added, nothing removed from here. We are going to be darting the back side, and to dart the back side, we'll be adding 1.5 inches. We added 1.5 inches because of that 1.5 inches we added for our hip. So whatever you added to your hip or whatever you remove from your hip in the front or back, that is the exact measurement you'll be taking for your dart, okay? If you remove 1 inch, if you added 1 inch to your hip, or you remove 1 inch to your hip, you add 1 inch to your dart, okay? So we are going to be adding 1 inch for our back dart, 1.5 inch for our back dart. So from this line here, we'll add 1.5. This is 1.5. This is 1.5 for our back dart. So we are going to dot to meet this line. If you have a French curve, make use of it. I don't have a French curve. Then you go down to blend it to the skirt length. No actual measurement, just blend. Okay, like that. So this is what we have. It's very simple. If you follow this tutorial, if you follow the guideline bit by bit, you get it correctly. This is very simple. When you use this method in sewing your skirt, it will be very fitted. So I cut out the back part first. So you place this pattern on your back. You add your zipper allowance 1.5 inches throughout your side. You can add 1.5 or 1 inch, 1.5 here at the down. Then you add your ½ inch for your waist to join it with your band. That is for the back. And to cut out the front piece, you are going to fold. And for the dart, the back dart, remember we used 1.5 inches. So depending on where you used to place your dart, you place your dart. If you normally place your dart, maybe, let's say you used to place your dart here, you divide that 1.5 inch by 2, 7.5, 7.5, and that is your 1.5 for your dart, okay? Then to use this pattern for your front block. You are going to fold in. You can cut out. I normally fold in because I might be needing the pattern some other time. So you fold in this part here. You fold it in. You fold it in and you fold the skirt loop. Then you place it on your fabric and cut out your front block. And that is very simple. Let me know in the comment section if you find this tutorial or pattern drafting useful. And please do not forget to subscribe, share and like. See you on my next video.